Right. So last week we have seen decentralized concept. Both we have completed the firefighter ID based two concepts, centralized and decentralized. So anybody has confusion between the two concepts? Okay, right then. Let's start the role-based firefighter concept. So in role-based, the big difference is in ID-based we have the concept of launchpad, right? In ID-based we have the concept of launchpad. User will log in into system, either GRC or backend system, and then he executes the launchpad T code. But now we are not going to have any launchpad T code because the role will be directly assigned to the user in the ECC system itself, in the backend system, in the plugin system. So when he logs in with his user ID, the same ID will have access to the extra authorizations, or something. Can you all hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sridhar.
Yeah, let me go back to the diagram. Yeah, so this is the role-based concept. The normal user who is present in the backend, so he is assigned, the user is assigned with a normal role, and this firefighter role also will be assigned to the normal user only. So there is no any special ID now. Only a role will be there, which is referred as firefighter role now. Okay, so let's look into the concept now, how this role-based concept will work. So for the role-based concept, we need to go into BRM. Let me go through the steps one by one. So step number 1, define 4000 parameter with the value 2. So let us see what is this parameter about. Yeah, under this, go to 4000 series. So if you see, the good part of this is all the emergency access management, they start with 4000 series, 4001, 4002, etc. So now the parameter which we are discussing is 4000 parameter. What is 4000? Application type. So let me check here. What is 1? 1 stands for ID based, 2 stands for role based. So to enable role based concept, I have to select a 2 value here now. Okay. So capturing in a transport request. So the setup has been done. First, now a question to all of you. Can we use both ID based and role based parallelly? What is your answer? Can you use both role based and ID based parallelly? Anyone?
Yes, we can use
How? For example, here I kept the value 2, right? What is 2 meaning here?
role based.
Role based. So I saved this setting. So will ID based will work in the now?
Coming to centralized ID based in GRC system.
Forget about centralized. We are discussing role based now.
Okay. At
No,
a
we
time,
can.
no. At a time.
I think still people are confusing about the ID based and role based concept. I have discussed already this one. Let me show you the types. All of you again see this. Under ID based only, we get this concept of centralized and decentralized. Role based is a different concept. So when you are discussing about role based, forget about ID based. Okay, don't get confused.
Okay. Okay.
So now my question, coming back to my question, can we use ID based and role based parallelly? Yes or no? Please tell me. Continue, please.
No, no, we cannot.
Suppose if I define one more value here, I create one more entry for the same parameter. If I put one here, new entry, emergency access management, 4000 parameter. Now I am keeping parameter value as 1, ID based, and then I click on save. What is happening now?
Parallelly,
At
we
the
can use.
at the bottom, you can see what is the message you are getting. All of you can see the message below.
Yeah, entry already exists with the same key.
So means I cannot save another entry for the same parameter with a different value. So what is the answer now? Role based.
No, anyone we can use.
So if they ask you why in interview, interviewer will ask you why we cannot use both. What will be your answer? So that's what I should be very clear actually. Why can't we use both of them? Why?
We cannot maintain under parameters both.
Yeah, you have to be very clear with your answer, saying that
No,
4000 parameter will be able to handle only one value. We cannot put two values under 4000 parameter. So hence, either you can put either one value or two. So one refers to ID based or two refers to role based. Okay. Hope all of you clear now. That's the first point under the role based setup. Define 4000 parameter with value to role based. Now the second point is role is created in BRM with setting enable for firefighting. Okay, we need to go to BRM now. So I'll have to create a role in the BRM, or we will see a setup actually role in the BRM. So do not worry about this BRM concept because after this EAM we will be starting with BRM in detail. I'll just go through quickly. I'll show you what we should do for role based concept. So BRM is nothing but creating a role in the GRC itself. So I under access management, role management, role maintenance. Okay, so here I have one role. I click on single role, creating a single role now. Let me do some small setting. Okay, do not worry what I am doing now. This we will discuss again when we come to role management again. But they did not enable the. I need to go to BC sets. The data is not enabled for BRM. So let us also see the BC sets related to. So I need to activate them. Landscape, first one. I'm just trying to activate the BC set. Okay, that is done. Role methodology. Main activation ended, reactivation started. Ended with some warnings. Okay. Okay. Right. We are good now. We'll go back to my WBC. Role maintenance. Do not worry, I'll be showing this in detail again when we come to BRM. So I'm creating a role now. Yeah. So just fill up the role. Application type, SAP, landscape, my connector group, business process, my Walmart. Okay, our data is lost. Z colon firefighter basis colon ff underscore role Walnut. Okay. basis SF role. Save and continue. Maintain authorization data. So in the firefighter role, I am again assigning the T codes like SPRO, critical transactions, SU25, SU24. Okay, the main important setting related to BRM is what I'm talking about here is in the first step of BRM, define role. When you go to properties, here we have user provisioning, and this feature I'm talking about, enable for firefighting. This should be enabled. So let me click on edit. I'll enable this. Enable for firefighting. Save and continue. That's the main thing. For role-based concept. Save and continue. Done. So the role is ready. This role is also present in the backend now. We have created a role in the backend actually. So I'll just run the sync job. Or let me show you in the backend first of all. I log in into ECC. Then go to PFCG. Z. Yep, this is my role. It exists. So the T codes what I have added. So, but the role creation initiated from GRC, that is about PRM. Anyhow, the role is there in the backend ECC. Okay. So this role, we need to, this is a new role, right? In the backend, we need to run the sync job. What is the sync job name? What is the sync job name?
Repository.
Repository object sync. For my system, I'm just doing incremental sync. You have to be confident about your answers. If you are not still confident, so means you are not going to clear your interviews. Keep answering, and then you get more confidence in answering the questions. Okay, done. Our role is ready. So what is the condition I told you? The role in BRM should have this value enabled. Under more details, under properties, enable for firefighting should be ticked here. That is the concept. So even I have given the screenshot here. So this is my screenshot I have given. So whatever the role you create in BRM, in the defined stage, under properties, you will find this option enable for firefighting. That should be enabled. Okay, so that's about second step. So don't ask me any doubts here because we will have to discuss this in BRM again. Okay, I'll move on to next one now. Third step. Ensure the user IDs are existing for firefighter role owner, firefighter role controller. Okay, now you see, earlier we called them as what? Firefighter ID owner, firefighter ID controller. Now we are calling them as what? Firefighter role owner, firefighter role controller. All of it clear? Right. So I will use the same IDs which we created earlier. The IDs which we created for ID based. The same IDs we will use them. So I'm not going to create a new IDs. Let me show you that WLM. So I have these two, FFID owner, FFID controller. So I will just use those two IDs again for role owner, role owner and controller. So the IDs are ready in the system. So I'll skip that step. The user IDs are already present. Now declare them under setup. So this is actually not required in GRC12. We can skip that also. So what do you mean by declare under that? If you go to setup tab, this is where we declare all of the owners, access control owners. And here you have the data, right? Create. So this we are declared here. I think my data is already here. Let me check. So here it is, WLM FFID owner. Open that and just ensure this guy is also acting as a role controller. Role. Firefighter ID owner, firefighter role owner. So I tick here two options. Means the same person can act as a both also. Doesn't matter. Save it. So ideally this concept is not required because we can directly do it from owner run. So I have written in brackets, not required in GRC12. Directly you can go to step number 5. Mapping of FFID role, FF role with firefighter role owner and firefighter role controller. Okay, now we'll go to owners now. Under setup tab, emergency access management, owners. The screens will modify accordingly, you see here. Earlier it was FFID, here it got changed to firefighter role, owner, etc. The headings also will change accordingly because of the parameter. If the parameter is 1, you will see the headings like FFID owner F here. But now we are putting it as inside firefighter role owner. So let us assign owner ID. WLM star. So owner ID. Owner for which role? Yes. Now I'm searching for a role. You see? Go. I can see only my role. See? From the backend system. WLM client 800. So all of you getting my point? Why only this role is visible to me? Because of that setting what we have enabled. Enable for firefighting. Only this role has that setting as of now. So if you enable more roles, you can see more roles here. Select that role. Okay. So for this role, he will act as a FFID, FF owner, firefighter role, save it. So define. Similarly, create controllers. Assign. WLM FF controller. Search for the role. This is the role. Notification bind. So reflecting email. Save it. See now, because earlier I have already maintained owner there, this option did not come to me. But for controller, I did not maintain controller. It is asking now, do you want to maintain any step in the previous step under access control points? I say yes. Okay. All of you clear about the fifth step? Similar to what we did in ID based. Mapping FF role and owner and FF role and owner. Now the linking firefighter role to the firefighter. So how do you assign the role? We don't assign from SU01, but we assign from GRC. So go under FFIDs, firefighter IDs. Here, click on assign. You see now the heading has changed. Firefighter role. Earlier it was firefighter ID for us because of the parameter. So this firefighter role will be assigned to which user? So the WLM user 1. He is the end user. Okay. So validity dates 12/9 to 15/9, 3 days. Save it. So linking is also done. This is manual linking actually. If it is manual process, if ARN is implemented, this linking will be done automatically through access request. Done. Already the firefighter role is assigned to the user in the GRC. Let us go and check in the backend whether it is assigned already. I log in into ECC. WLM underscore user 1 display roles. So is the role assigned here? If you see, all of you clear now so far? This security, sorry, this is the role name, right? Yeah, basis firefighter role 1. And if you see the change logs, change documents for this user, especially the role assignment, you will see the role is assigned today. It's taking so much time to load. You can see this one today, 12/9/2022, now at 7:34. WLM underscore RFC user added the role. The firefighter role has been added for 3 days, 12/9 to 15/9. Clear, all of you? So now what this user will do, he can just log in regularly as he logs in into system. He can execute now. So he can execute the normal T code like SU01. Okay. And also he can execute the critical T code like SPRO. So with the normal access, with the normal ID, regular ID, he can execute both the T codes now. Okay. Now a question to all of you. When user is executing any T code, whether it is a normal daily user T code or a critical T code, can the user differentiate where the T code is coming from? Is it coming from the normal role or coming from the firefighter role? Will the user can recognize that or not?
Within the screen, within system, user connect can't be find.
Now I have
Confused.
it. Okay, see, I'm executing the T codes like SPRO, SU25. So can user identify where is this access coming from? He has two roles assigned, right? One is normal role, one is firefighter role. Can user identify where the access is coming from?
Yes. Identify.
Can identify, you mean to say?
Yes.
How?
I think the user cannot identify because it is a normal login the user is doing and performing the task, right? So, from where the access is coming, I think the user cannot identify.
Right. So don't think end user is a security consultant. He will not know where the T code is coming from. He will just know whether he is able to execute the T code, and that's it. Think like a cashier, think like an accountant who does not have any SAP knowledge. When they are executing a T code, where exactly the T code is coming from, how many roles are assigned, it is in matter to them. Okay. So this is one of the biggest disadvantage of role-based concept, because users never know whether the T code is coming from the firefighter role or whether the T code is coming from the normal role, and they just execute it without knowing that, without having a knowledge that it is assigned through firefighter role. So this is actually causing a lot of problems, because that became an excuse for end users, saying that we never know that this T code is a part of firefighter role, hence we had executed it. All of you getting my point?
Yeah.
So in the ID based, it is clear cut differentiated, right? In ID based, he can go and check the ID here, through which ID he logged in, the user logged in. So it will be definitely ID. All of you getting my point? So in the ID-based concept, it is very clearly differentiated because the logins are different completely. So here, this diagram I'm talking about, whether it is centralized or decentralized. Suppose imagine this is your user one login. Anybody has queries? Otherwise, please be unmute. So in ID-based centralized concept, the user logs in into GRC. So with user one login, and in the logon pad, when he clicks on log on, a new screen opens up, which is with login with FFID. In decentralized also, user logs in into ECC and executes SSD code. So a new session will open up with the FFID. But in role-based, when user logs in with a normal user, same screen he can use the firefighter role as well. So there is no differentiation if you see here. The screen is same, the session is same, but here the sessions are different. So user can easily differentiate which is a normal access and which is the firefighter ID access. All of you clear about this concept so far?
In what scenarios
Yes.
creating a role-based firefighter?
Nobody will use firefighter. SAP is given choice, but nobody is using it. So far I have worked with around 6 to 7 clients. So all of them, everyone is using ID based. It could be either centralized or decentralized, but never I got a chance to use this role based because of these disadvantages they have. Okay. So that's all about role based concept. So we have seen all the three concepts. Any queries so far? Now coming to other details, like these are some interview questions. If the FFID is not visible in GRC system, what could be the reason? The first reason is 4010 parameter role. This is the role is not assigned to FFID. So we have seen this case. I have shown you this case. Even after assigning this role, if you are still not able to see, then you need to run the repository sync job is not run after assigning FFID, creating FFID and assigning the above role. Sometimes in case if you find 4010, there will be a custom role updated here. In 4010 parameter, if there is a custom role updated, so then which role you have to assign to every FFID?
That particular custom rule.
Yeah. Understood all of you? So go and look, just check the 4000 parameter role. Whatever the role is there, so that particular role should be assigned to every FFID. Now coming to important parameters, we have seen few already. So It is very simple to remember also. All EAM related will start with 4000 series. 4010. You know, all of you, this is the role related to role concept. The role that has to be assigned to every FFID. 4000 we have just seen. It decides whether it is ID based or role based. 4001 is defining the validity period, default validity period. And 4015 is to activate the decentralized concept. Okay, now I got a question from this. Can we use both the centralized and decentralized parallelly?
No. Either centralized or decentralized, right? Because multiple parameter ID, I mean for the same parameter ID, multiple entries are not allowed, right?
Okay. All of you same answer, or anybody has a different answer? All of you accept the statement? I'm going to the parameters. So what is the parameter number? 4015. If I say, what is the definition of here? Enable decentralized firefighting. If I keep it no, what will happen? What does no refers to?
Centralized.
Yeah.
Only centralized can be used. Okay. Now I am changing to yes. What does that mean?
Decentralized.
No. Both. This parameter is not talking anything about the centralized concept. It is only talking about you want to on or off the decentralized concept. So if you keep yes, you can use both parallelly. Both centralized will work, decentralized also will work.
Okay.
Is that clear, all of you?
Then what is the purpose of both centralized and decentralized data?
See, my question was, can you use both of them?
Okay, but we will go for centralized only, right?
Who said we
Mostly.
will go over centralized only? How many concepts are available? Three concepts are available, as I told you. The
Yeah, yeah,
client
but we go for
client has
which
total
one
freedom
can.
to choose anyone.
Okay,
He can go with the centralized. He can use the client can prefer decentralized, or the client can choose role based also. They have it's their own wish, right? What to use?
yeah, yeah, but if we are using in GRC means most of them go for centralized only.
No,
Not like that.
not like that. That's what I'm telling you. See,
Okay,
don't think that if you are working in a particular client and if they are using centralized, everybody will use the same.
okay.
Because centralized also has some disadvantages. The mostly used concept is decentralized. After that comes centralized. Second. So first concept is always decentralized. Then comes decentralized concept. All of you clear? Right. Now moving on to other topics. Disadvantage of role-based, you have seen all of you. User is confused or not conscious about using the firefighter role. The way I have discussed just now, the screens. with the screens I told you just here. Now, what exactly is the disadvantage of ID based? So there is also disadvantages of ID based. What is the disadvantage? Let's imagine I have a sequence of steps to be in a T code. What do you mean by sequence of steps? When you open it, yeah, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. So when I say sequence of steps in a T code, there are many functional T codes. There are many functional T codes, which is like you start with step 1 and you end up doing at least five to 6 steps. Like for example, I have an example here, LSMW T code. I think most of you heard of it or they have at least seen it, right? LSMW. LSMW has at least 10 steps inside it. Means once I go to LSMW, launch LSMW, I have to go to navigation wise. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So 10 steps are there. Okay. So LSMW, initial steps are not so critical, but the final steps are critical. So you cannot divide those T code. You cannot differentiate this T code as a critical or a normally daily used. Like what do you mean to say? So let us say LSMW has total 10 steps, I told you, right? First 5 steps are not critical. 6 to 10 steps are critical. 5 to steps are not critical, but these are critical. 6 to 10. So can you divide those under the first 5 steps under normal role and 6 to 10 steps under the firefighter ID? We cannot differentiate. We cannot divide like that. You have to complete the steps in stretch at one stretch. With the same ID, with the same login, you have to continue the steps. So we cannot divide such T codes as into 2 halves, which is critical, which is not critical. Understood, all of you? What do you mean by sequence of steps? Okay, moving on to next. So another example is internal calling of T codes. Internal calling means what? So another example here. I have SM30 T code. SM30, what is the purpose of SM30? Anyone?
Maintenance.
What is the purpose of SM30?
Maintain the table.
Table maintenance. Correct. So when you execute this T code SM30, system will internally call SE16. SE16 is for display of access mainly. Display or table maintenance also you can use it. So it will call SE16 internally. So when it is calling, it means whenever SM30 is executed, in the backend system will also check for what T code? SE16 T code. Okay, that is the scenario. Now SM30 is considered to be critical T code. I will put it under FFID. SE16 is not a critical. I will put it under normal role. So means two T codes have been divided. So one T code you are putting under normal role, one T code you are putting under the firefighter ID. So when with the firefighter ID, when user tries to execute SM30, the FFID will not have SE16 T code access. It will throw error. You are unable to modify the table, or you are not authorized to access the table. Getting my point? So whichever internal calling of T codes are there, either you have to treat the both the T codes as critical, or treat both the T codes as normal. You cannot differentiate again here. Understood all of you the examples of disadvantages of ID based? Any queries? So if you want to know what is the calling, internal calling of T codes, you can go to this table and check it. TCD couples. So this will tell you which T code will call in other T codes internally. Right, let me move ahead. Now coming to disadvantages of centralized firefighting concept. So let me read out. All the users, so whoever wants to use FFID in the plugin system, they should also exist in GRC. Means in simple words, whoever wants to use FFID, they should exist in GRC system, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is like a big disadvantage, because they will take it as a license cost. Every user present in the GRC will be considered as one of the license cost. So just for logging into firefighter session, we need not pay at least to $300 to $400 per user. That is like a minimum license cost we have to pay. Just for centralized concept, they have to pay the license. Otherwise, the user does not have any other access in the GRC. So this is one of the reason why most of the clients are going for decentralized concept. It's even additional burden to us also. Like for security consultants also, we need to go and create user always in GRC so that he can use centralized concept. So it will also, if it is decentralized, even our option is also reduced.
Sir, I have a question here actually.
Yeah.
With the GRC user ID we are using, right, the firefighter ID, which is having the same name as of the firefighter ID in ECC. So with this same name, with the same username only, the system is identifying who is logging in, right, and going
Yeah.
into the backend and giving the particular access.
Yes.
Okay. If the username is different, it won't happen. I just tried today, but with the different username, it was not working. And then only I realized the user ID should be same in GRC and ECC.
No need. Actually, ideally saying, if you say in ECC, user need not present other. First of all, you can try that after the class.
Okay.
Create any ID in GRC. Okay.
Okay.
Create ID only in GRC,
Okay.
and then try to link it with FFID, and you see whether you can log in or not.
Okay, sure, sure. Yeah.
So this is the second point I was about to discuss. Users who does not exist in the plugin system can still use the FFID. So this is like a disadvantage only. Imagine if a person does not exist in ECC, then for what purpose he will come and use FFID? Can you imagine any purpose? Why do we need FFID first of all? Anybody for any reason. Why anybody needs FFID?
For executing critical T codes.
Because with his normal ID, he cannot execute the critical T codes. Hence, he is
Yeah.
requesting for FFID. Now I am talking about a scenario where the user does not exist in ECC, and he also, that user also can raise a request for FFID and use FFID in ECC if it is centralized concept. So that is what I just asked you to do as assignment, all of you. Don't create the firefighter, the normal user in ECC. So just create a normal user in GRC, firefighter ID in ECC, and link it with that and check it. All of you understood the disadvantage of centralized and why clients prefer decentralized aggregations.
Yeah.
Okay, disadvantages. Now coming to real-time setup, how the real-time setup would be. So in the real time, we will have team-wise FFID setup. Like for example, basis team will have 3 FFIDs. Finance team also has 3 FFIDs. So whoever needs it, they can choose any one of them, either 1, 2, 3. If more people, 3 people parallelly can use 3 IDs. So when a situation comes like that, we don't need 3 people. So we can have, it's okay, have 2, 3 or 4 IDs per team. So some clients have dedicated FFID to every user in the organization. This is very rare case. Like I have a user one, there will be FFID underscore user one, and they will be assigned for long term, like 1 year validity will be given. So whenever user wants to execute firefight any critical T codes, he has to log in into the firefighter ID through Launchpad, and then he can use the critical T code that will be recorded, logged, logs are generated, they are reviewed for long term. Only one client I have seen so far like this, long term access given. Otherwise, only just team based like this, few IDs will be there. 3 to 4 IDs will be given to the to the every team. Okay, now coming to Now, question to all of you. SAP all should not be assigned to FFID. Why?
Because it will assign all access, all system access.
All system
Means all access, it will assign or each and every access to the FFID.
So
So
if
what is
we
the problem?
SAP all, user will
And
have one.
every user can that did anything,
User can
do anything,
user
fully
can do.
authorize it.
Basically, user will have wide access, so he can misuse of that.
Okay. So two concerns here, especially when you are assigning SAP all to the FFID. A basis user can perform financial transactions, or a finance user can perform basis transactions, which is very, very risky. Okay. There will be no team-wise segregation of access. Any user can perform any T code, so there is no SOD concept. So especially basis are critical T codes. No other team should execute those T codes. That is one reason. Second reason is unnecessary logs are generated and it is difficult for the controller to monitor it. Why unnecessary logs will be generated?
Because for whatever T codes the user is executing, the log will be generated, right? Because SAP is having broad access.
Yeah. So SU53, SU01 display is also part of SAP all. If you are assigning SAP all to FFID, that means even when user executes SU53, SU01 display, also that log will be generated. So imagine how many logs will be generated, and the controller will get frustrated to see that such logs. Okay, all of you understood the concept here? Why SAP all should not be assigned to any FFID. Now coming to overall advantages of firefighter concept. So the advantage is we can track the usage of critical T codes. Yes, we are able to track. And the second purpose is minimize the total risk count in the organization. How can we minimize the total risk count in the organization? Anyone? Suppose if you don't implement FFID concept, there is no segregation of duties done. Like all critical T codes, we will be assigning to the normal IDs. When you assign critical T codes to the normal IDs, risk count will be high or less.
Risk will be high.
So if you are implementing the EAM concept, all the critical T codes will fall under FFIDs. So for a normal user, there will be no critical action risk at all, because all the critical T codes are under FFIDs. FFIDs are service type. When we run risk analysis is only we run for dialog IDs, not for the service IDs. Okay, that's how it is also helping you in maintaining the risk count or controlling the risk count in the organization. if EAM is implemented. That's the advantages of firefighter concept. And coming to disadvantages of EAM. So wherever we have advantages, we also have disadvantages, right? So this EAM concept disadvantage is not possible in Java. So if you have a Java system like Enterprise Portal or CRM, Solman system, GRC, NWBC, whatever you are doing in NWBC, GRC cannot be, we cannot give it to FFID. Our Enterprise Portal, we cannot give it to FFID. So not possible basically in the Java systems. Or WebDyn Pro ABAP systems, not possible. And then our based FFID access cannot be granted. So what is the minimum time period we can grant in this EAM concept? Minimum validity period.
5 days.
1 day.
Minimum I'm talking about.
1 day.
1 day.
1 day. Can you give less than 1 day, like half day, 3 hours, 2 hours? Can you give it?
No.
No. So that is also one disadvantage. Hours based. Suppose if user needs only 1 hour, still we have to grant 1 day. So this hours based FFID access cannot be granted. There are some tools outside SAP, like emergency repair, we call it ER, which is a part of security viewer. So security viewer is one of the competitor of GRC tool. So there are a lot of tools coming up now for a competition, as a competition to GRC. They are all non-SAP tools. So these tools are providing more facilities and enhancement which SAP cannot provide. As of now, maybe in future SAP will try to implement this hour-based firefighting concept. But as of today, we don't have that hour-based. The minimum time period we can give is 1 day. Is that clear, all of you? Okay, that's all with this concept now. So try this assignment. I already gave this assignment to you. Connecting multiple dialog to one FFID or two FFIDs to one dialog ID. So firefighter logs we have seen. What are the new features in GRC 12 from EAM perspective is no need to maintain EAM approvers in access control owners. This also we have seen. We did not maintain in second step and directly we went for mapping. EAM concept can be used in HANA database model, HANA database level. So first time in GRC 12, they have introduced, you can also use FFID concept in a DB level, database level. So in DB, we have the concept of privileges in the place of T codes, and it will record the privileges, what privileges user is using. So this concept, I have a document to you. I'll share the document to all of you. So just go through it. So how it works, you'll get an idea. So with this, we'll be completing EAM concept. So tomorrow we'll start with PRM concept. Any queries for today? Right then. Thanks everyone. See you all tomorrow. So we'll start with BRM concept tomorrow.